Okay, so this is something that we're going to try to do more of, and that is that once a week, I want to try to provide a video that describes what we have been working on with Notifier. And that's coming to us through recommendations by some people that we have been meeting with on Twitter, finding on Twitter, and their recommendation is that, and also from some customers that like, I guess, hearing updates about what the team is doing, what we're working on, and surprisingly, I guess it's somewhat interesting for people to follow along with what a small bootstrapped team is doing that's kind of working on this as a side project. So, what we've been working on this past week to get started, let me go through some of our prior updates from our blog just to give a kind of quick update on those and to see where we are on some of this stuff. So, yes, the back end for the message on match feature is ready. I've actually been using that all this past week to test it out and adding a few more modifications to it that are pretty exciting, honestly. And I've been surprised by how effective this has been. I'm trying it out for real, using it to message people, potential customers about Notifier. So it's pretty exciting, actually. And we are still working on the chat version of this. So, as you may or may not know, Reddit has had a feature for years and years that they, I believe, call a private message. And it's the older system. So, it's kind of like an inbox type functionality. But then there's a newer chat system that they actually are leveraging a third party platform for that, believe it or not. A lot of large platforms actually do that for some of their features, but they are leveraging a third party platform for this chat functionality. And we're seeing right now how we can offer that as well to send a chat on a match. And right now it looks like we can do it. So we're working on that, and I will talk more about the message on match functionality later in this video. But we are still certainly working on that. Here's that test I did a while back. The ignore not safe for work matches, that is live. Let me just show you all quickly how you do that. So we'll go to this example account that I have set up. And then when you click add searcher, if you scroll down and click on advanced searcher options, then if you just check this box, then, and as it says here, any posts that are marked NSFW or any comments that occur in a subreddit that are marked NSFW, so not safe for work, they will be excluded. So hopefully that helps some of you who were turned off by the fact that you could have these type of matches come up in your feed. Let's see some other updates here. Yes, this is a minor one. We did add a reset to default button to the change email alerts functionality. That's pretty basic. Videos that we added, you can see these videos here. We're going to be doing them more in depth. I need to actually finish making that a tutorial video that walks you through more in depth all of the features and nuances of the various platforms that we support. And yes, we are working on some Twitter tools. That is more probably something we shouldn't be doing, but it's more for me. It's just some Twitter tools I need, but we actually put that on hold temporarily so that we can get this message on match out and correct some other issues that have cropped up that we have found. So that's still coming, the Twitter tools. And let's see, is it showing up yet in the dashboard? There's a section. No, it's not. It'll be here under Twitter tools when it shows up. Yes, and the exclude results from any site or user. That should be almost ready and should come out today or the next day. I don't have a good example of that because there's no results in this account right now. But basically, whenever you actually, I think we have an image here. No, the image actually should be in this article. let's scroll down. Yeah, here we go. So basically, whenever a match comes up, there will be an option to exclude that user or that site from uh, future matches. And then there will also be the functionality to view what you have excluded. So that's coming very soon. It's only the front end actually that we're waiting on for that. And we had some minor problems with the communications between the back end and the front end on that. So that should be corrected today or probably tomorrow at the latest. Yes, we increased our pricing, of course, on February 1st. As you can see, let us know, reach out and let us know what you think about that pricing increase. If it just, if you think it's totally off the wall, if you think it's ridiculous, if you think it's not enough, let us know. We would definitely like your advice on that. Pricing is more of a science, although there are some approaches that people use. But we do think that this pricing we have set up is very comparable to our competitors. And then when you take into account the other features that we're offering, like message on match for both Reddit and Twitter, we think it's an appropriate rate for the features we're offering. But certainly if you have another opinion, please reach out to us and certainly let us know, because we are always open to feedback. And then finally, from this article, yes, we did recently increase our recurring affiliate commission to 50%. And keep in mind that what that means is that for every person that you refer, as long as they are a customer, you will receive 50% of their subscription price each month. So we think that's a fantastic opportunity out there for people to partner with us. And I haven't been doing a great job of advertising this affiliate opportunity. One thing I just kind of stupidly thought, I guess, is that if I just created an affiliate program that, they would just flow in. But really, we need to start advertising this more, maybe even reaching out to large software affiliates and trying to get them to join. But the problem is we just haven't had time to focus on that channel. But it's something that we probably need to focus more on. So if you have experience with SaaS affiliate marketing and you think it's just a gold mine, certainly let me know if you think that's something we should probably be focusing more on. Because right now we're not. I don't know how well affiliate marketing would work for small SaaS players. I'm not sure. I'll have to think about it. Let's go to the other article here just to remind me of everything that we've been kind of doing. And then I'll talk about the message on match functionality and what I've been doing with it this week. This was just a fun tweet that kind of took off from my Twitter account. Yes, this should be live and working now. So essentially, one of our customers, a longtime customer of ours, reached out and he said that now that we were truncating the text we show in emails, it's great because they can see more of them, right? But the problem is that they could not see the keyword. So we were like, okay, actually that makes complete sense. And now what will happen is that the 150 characters that we extract and put into the email summary, that will always include the keyword with this yellow text highlighted essentially. So let us know if that doesn't occur for you. One problem we've still been having, which I don't know how to solve, is that on Gmail, at least for iOS, this highlighting functionality, this mark tag doesn't seem to work, or it does work, but the color is so close to the background that you can't really tell that it's highlighted. I don't know what to do about that right now, but let us know if you see that as well. We'll try to find a way to fix that in the future. And let us know if you see any issues where the keyword is actually not showing up. And yes, this is an exciting one. So we are actually changing the way, let me show you how we do it today. So today we actually have this second group of searchers or platforms that we support, and you can kind of individually select results from this. And what this actually does is we have the RSS, the URLs, the feeds for these behind the scenes, and we go and we search them, and if your keyword that you're looking for comes up in these, it will show up. What we're doing though is we've expanded this massively, or we're working on this, and it's going to be so many now thousands and thousands that it wouldn't be realistic to include each and every one of them in this dashboard. So we're probably going to just include another platform type here, like media or something like that. And then when you select that, you'll also get matches that occur in those. But this is, going to be great because we're going to have one of the largest lists of, RSS sites that we kind of pull data from. And also keep in mind that, we don't just, a lot of tools and a lot of, platforms like Feedly and stuff, they only look inside what you get in the RSS, which is an excerpt, right? So only a certain number of characters get fed into that, not the entire article. Whereas with Notifier, it actually goes to that source, gets the article, ingests all the text of the article after extracting all the HTML tags and everything, and then it searches for any matches within that entire article. So a lot of tools do not do that. And I think it's going to be great once we expand and add a whole lot more media sites to this, or RSS sites, however you want to call it. Okay, and the message on match functionality, I want to get to that towards the end of the video, but yes, I am working on that. It's working live now. We're kind of just waiting for the front end for it and some last minute changes that I am making with some issues that I see that make it a lot more usable. But it's amazing how well that works, actually. We're testing it on a subset of users we've identified, and they are messaging back and stuff like that, and no issues with it so far. We are adding some more YouTube videos. You can obviously see those here. And going forward, we're going to be trying to add a lot more helpful YouTube videos. We already covered the fact that the exclude user /site functionality that you can see here is almost done. Supporting social listening on Slack teams. Yes, we are very much wanting to do that. Likely we'll get done to that. We'll get started on that after, probably in the next few weeks after message on match is done, maybe sooner, because that's a very high priority thing for us. But essentially, a lot of people have been asking us, hey, I have this massive Slack team. I want to be able to watch that team for certain keywords to trigger. And so we're going to be looking into that. Discord servers, the exact same thing here. So we do want to support social listening on Discord servers. That is in the works. Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups. This is a new one that people have been asking us about. It is possible. There are a couple of approaches we could use for this. We could create an app that the Facebook group user would have to allow into their group, and then it would start listening, right, and make it available to everyone that uses Notifier. The problem with this approach, I think, is that, what's the incentive for the Facebook group user? I don't know. Maybe if they want to, stay away from their group and then come in once they hear keywords, maybe there is a use case for that. But there are a couple of other approaches we could use for this, and they'd be difficult, but certainly possible. And we do have some experience, at least I do, in the past from doing something similar. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that if there's a lot of interest in supporting watching Facebook groups and or LinkedIn groups, then let us know. We could definitely invest some time into that. Text messaging. Yes, we want to add support for text messaging. In some ways, that should be rather simple. I've done that before for another app that I worked on. So we will look into that. Stay tuned. We're going to be looking into that as soon as possible because it's a simple enough use case. You could select text messages, input a number that you want to get them sent to, and then you could get a text message for certain high priority alerts. We're also going to be looking into actually in-app notifications. So through the browser, it would be able to pop up and notify you. We'll be looking into that probably after we start looking into text message alerts. And now I'm actually just looking through our GitHub repository to find recent merges to master to see if there's anything I'm forgetting that we've been working on. A lot of what we've been working on this past week was more internal and some issues we found and just things that aren't customer facing, except for the message on match. So I think we should talk about the message on match now. That, like I've been saying this time, it's working fantastically. Here's the way it's going to be. You're going to select it. So just like normal, you'll select a Reddit searcher and alert me via email, however you want to be alerted. And you're going to put your search string into here. And then finally, you'll want to click on advanced searcher options and then click on auto send private message on match. And as you can see, this isn't working right now. It's coming soon. But here is where you're going to define the message to send. And above it, we're also going to have where you define the subject, if applicable. Because with Reddit, you send for a DM or a PM, you send a subject line and then you send a message. By default, we've added some rate limiting in here. Also, we're going to be adding a random wait, so that you can define an amount of time to wait randomly before it actually attempts to message this person. And the reason you want that, as one of our users suggested, is that you don't want people posting a comment or posting a post and then immediately seconds later they get this message. That looks very automated. It looks very spammy. So we will have an option there for introducing a random wait. And then also by default, we're also going to include rate limiting and not allowing you to message more than once every 60 seconds, likely by default, but we also may make it configurable. That's one of the things I've been looking into and kind of testing. Also, and it'll be an option to not do this, but by default, it'll be checked to not message people that you've already messaged before, because for most use cases, that's valid, right? You want to avoid messaging someone again. Another thing that we just identified this weekend, and actually I wrote the code today for it because I've done this before for something else, is you need to be able to vary the text that you send to someone, right? So here's where you define the message, and you could say something like, hello, I am selling apples. I don't know, something ridiculous, right? And you want to be able to vary this because you don't want to send the exact same text all the time. I know Reddit's security features for this type of thing are not amazing from what I've heard, but just in case, it's best to avoid sending the exact same thing every time to not look so automated, right? So what functionality we have added is simple kind of text spinning here. So anything you define here using an OR operator will be randomly selected at the time of messaging. So what you could do is add 3 different options here. You separate them with the OR operator, the bracket, and then wrap all of that inside these brackets here. And what happens is whenever it goes to render this text, it will automatically choose one of these options. And you can do multiples of these. So you could have this here. Actually, that would not make sense, but if you could put it here, something like that. So you can support as many of these in the string as you want, and it'll allow you to define variations of your text to send. That way, whenever you send all these messages, each one is slightly different. And we think that'll be very helpful. Currently, it's choosing a random one. And if I remember correctly, it's truly random because we used the secrets library. But anyway, yeah, so it's choosing a random one to go with. We may also add the functionality, an additional thing there where it'll choose a random one, but also make sure it didn't choose one that's already been done recently. That's a little bit more code though, so we'll wait and see if that's kind of worth it. But that is it for the message on match feature. Right now it's working, like I said, on Reddit PMs, so private messages. We are researching right this moment. One of our developers is working on it to figure out if it's possible to do the Reddit chat. Now, we may have to do that via getting a browser token or something like that. We'll have to see. We'll have to see if it's even possible. So we will keep you guys up to date on that. Once this message on Match is launched, the beta for it should be launched within the next few days. And once that's launched, we're going to immediately start working on the Twitter version of it, which will be a Twitter DM on matching a keyword. Okay, and that's it for this weekly update. As usual, keep the great feedback coming. You guys have been really amazing about offering your feedback on Twitter and then joining the coffee breaks that we have where I buy you all a coffee. Unfortunately, my coffee app is actually down right now. And so I've not been able to buy coffee for people. So may have to change the name of that or something, or find another coffee app or something. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that today. But yeah, keep it coming, and please certainly join those coffee Zoom calls if you get a chance. Your feedback is super, super important to us, and we're just trying to make this tool better for people like you. All right, thanks. Talk to you all later. Bye-bye.